optical art.
Okay guys, I believe that Bitcoin has set up for two more traps. One trap is already played out. Everybody expected Bitcoin to drop down to the 20-week moving average. Everybody was shorting. Every YouTuber was saying we're coming down to that point. Short, 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 add to your shorts. We didn't hit that point. I'm going to show you how I was able to find this exact bottom and buy in. We're going to cover all of this. I'm going to show you the trap that's playing out currently. And also I'm going to show you the trap that's going to trick a lot of people when we finally do test this 20-week moving average, which I think is going to be a lot more bearish than some people think. Before we get into this and cover it, if you do want to access these charts, guys, and I'm going to go through each one of these charts, show you how to play them, show you why they're so accurate. But if you do want to access them, again, opticalartcrypto.com, link will be pinned in the first comment in the description. For $39 a month, get access to Bitcoins, altcoins, precious metals, access to our Discord, and you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is private. I do have stocks and have tutorials teaching you my method to create these charts if you want to learn to chart for yourself. If you're interested in lifetime, just contact me through the contact page of the website. So guys, let's get into this. I'm going to cover a few calls. I'm going to show you what I'm expecting and this last trap that I think is going to get a lot of people wrecked. So let me play this. This was yesterday's live stream. This was April 26th. I'm going to play a little clip of this real quick. Give you another target to pay attention to. I would watch this right here. This is around 56,186. So right here, again, April 26th, I said pay attention, this white ring right here, I said this should be the point to watch to get rejected, 56,186. You say, well, how can you know, how can a ring predict when you get rejected? Well, it did. If you'll notice right here, this is on the daily. I have it rewound back to pretty much where it was here. And just to show you, I have it on the 2 hour here. This is the same chart, just on a different time frame. So I'm going to hit play, have it rewound back, hit play, see how this played out. We came up, we hit that line to the tick, and got rejected. So you can see we did top out at this ring, where I was showing here, peak of the bull run 2.0 chart. And right here, this is on the daily. I'm just going to hit play. It goes pretty quick. But you can see, that's what happened. We got topped out right here, and then we came down. And again, so we're going to cover, the point where, we dropped, how I found this bottom, and this was the first trap. Again, everybody was expecting us to hit the 20-week moving average, down here on the daily. This is the 20-week, which has been around 42,000. Everybody was shorting to that point. Obviously, if there's a lot of shorts, wells, exchanges send the price up, liquidate those shorts. Now, I think this is a short squeeze. I think this will be coming down. I'm going to show you a pattern that I think we're in and where that target will be. And again, this right here, guys, and I made a tweet about this, and I was telling everyone, I said, if we get above the 21 exponential daily moving average, that would be bullish. As long as we're below, that's bearish. And it just so happens, on this chart where I was showing you here, this was the point I said to watch, 56,126, because that, these rings have been here. They've been in place for a long time. I'll go back and show you the published version. But it just coincidentally, the 21 daily exponential moving average is right here. It ended up being right here on today, the April 27th, right here where this ring just happened to be. So, these rings actually predict where price will be way out in advance. And I'm going to show you this in detail. So this right here is the first trap that played out. Now I want you to take note, this video I put out, it was a live stream, it was April 22nd. Now take note right here, this is the same chart, this is D1 chart. Notice I have this white circle here, right here, this is where we found support, and we also found support right here. Well, on the Coinbase chart it dropped below the Bitstamp, it did not break below it. Most senior resistance above is 56,212. If we break 53,152, we're coming down lower. So this is the chart, how it played out. And take note, this blue line right here. And I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to play a little clip of this real quick for you. But I'm going to give you support resistance levels. Look, if we break 53,152, I think we are coming down much lower. I will give you the next support level on this chart, guys. This is around 48,763. So right here, I said if we break this support, you're coming down to 48,763. And you can see on this chart, we broke right here, 53,156. And where did we come down to? Right to this blue fib channel line I said would be your support. Make this white so you can see it. Just showing you how accurate these charts are and why people subscribe to these charts, guys. I mean, it's a roadmap to where price is going. And I'll show you how I was able to find this bottom as well. But notice what happened. Price, we were getting caught. We found support. resistance, resistance. We came down to support. It says once we break this, we're coming down to this area here. You can see that's what happened. We found support, support, support. This is when we had that fake out to the downside. Everybody was shorting, thinking it was going to go lower, and then price pushed up. So again, that was the first trap, but we caught the bottom right here. And guys, to the dollar, that's what these charts do. They help you find targets to the dollar. And I covered this. I was talking about this point right here. You can see on this chart. Let me get rid of this. You can see this, but you can clearly see. This is what I was talking about. We came down. This was where you had made contact here, and you see we made contact right here, dropped below. And I was talking about Coinbase was getting a little crazy, wicking down. We did come down below. I made some more tweets about this and found support. And this right here, this is where I was talking about. I said, damn you, blue line, just break already. Because I was expecting as soon as we break this point, that is down here. That's this point right here. Notice that we found support. Support, I have this on the 2 hour, this is on the 1 hour. But we kept finding support. So as soon as we break it, I expect us to come down. Now that did play out right here. So we broke this blue line, we came down, but we bottomed right here. But I was able to find that bottom using this chart. This is the A1 chart. Notice right here, we found perfect support. So I was watching all these charts. The reason these are labeled, and when I make tweets, I say, guys, pay attention to the A1 chart, pay attention to the B1 chart, the D1 chart right here. It's an absolute perfect support on the A1 chart. This is April 25th. Look, we came down, we hit it to the tick. I bought in right here. Most people following me bought in. I keep you guys updated daily, if not hourly, especially when Bitcoin's making moves. But we were able to buy in right here. So had you bought in right here, right now you were up a total of over 18%. Current price action dropped about 17%. So we were able to find the bottom using this chart. So again, this was the first trap. But just showing you, using these charts, you can find. So look, I know that this is strong support. I've covered this chart in previous videos. I knew that when we came down, this is a chance to buy. Now, it's always a gamble, but I knew this was strong support, so I bought here, and it pushed up. And you can see that is what happened. We pushed up from this point, and just so you can see, this is that same, you can see this green and this gray. This is exact same. This is a support level right here. But just showing you guys, that's why I say reference different charts. But we did find support, so we wrote it up. Let's see here. And again, so you can see currently now I am going to go, when I finish going through all this, I'm going to give you some price targets for Bitcoin. I'm also going to cover my calls that I gave for Ethereum, Litecoin, Binance Coin, and also XRP. So I will cover that at the end, and I will give you price targets for Bitcoin as well. But most importantly, I want you to know about this trap that is coming. So I need to go back a bit because I need you to understand how these Fib circles work and how they project potential tops and bottoms and how they can predict moves either to the upside or the downside. Now, this video I did on January 21st, 2020. I have too many videos to reference up top for you to click, but I'll have all these videos in the description if you want to go check them out. This is 22 minutes, 30 seconds in. So I was predicting, guys, I'm going to show you a bunch of charts. I'm going to show you how this all ties in together to this trap that is coming up that is going to get everybody wrecked if you do not pay attention to this. So again, this was on January 21st. 2020, I was predicting I said, look, Bitcoin price projection 2020, stock market crash in February, BTC cryptocurrency, the Dow Jones. I was predicting the Dow was going to crash and Bitcoin was going to crash. I had no idea the correlation at the time, but I knew that both were coming down based on the charts. Let me play a little clip of this for you real quick. But I would like to show you that I do think that, I think that we'll probably come down to around 27,000. This, like I said, support levels here. Your first target is 27,500. Your next target is around 26,200. I do believe that this ring is going to push us down. So I think by late February, this February 26th, I think we will have bottomed or close to bottoming. So I think this will actually. So before I get to the next chart I'm going to talk about in here. So this was what I was talking about, January 21st, 2020. This is the actual published version of the chart. You can see that this was a little sooner because I'd made this chart way in advance when I was predicting that this was going to crash. But if I hit play, again, this is the same published chart. You can see it's identical. If I hit play, you can see it played out exactly as I predicted. These were my targets I gave you. We hit these targets and we went way the hell down here. So it did predict a drop. So the next chart right here, and I'm going to reference this in this video. I'm going to hit play again. Actually play along with this chart right here, this ring. The edge of this ring right here is, if you follow this right here is February 25th. So I believe this ring is going to push us down and put in our bottom. So, and this is the chart right here. This is the published version of the exact same chart that I'm showing you. And if I zoom in right here, notice right here. So this is, notice that price is moving down. This was support, this is resistance. You can see this was support, this is our resistance. You see this blue ring right here. Price was already out past this blue ring. This is the white ring. I have it kind of ghosted here. This is the ring I was saying was going to send us down, right? I already said that the stock market was going to crash. You saw that it did. So this is the white ring I said pay attention to. So I hit play. Look how it played out right here. We pushed above this ring. This ring pushed us down, but as soon as we crossed this ring, we had a drop. That's why I was saying this is the point where I realized how correlated Bitcoin is with the stock market. And recently Benjamin Cohen put out a video about the stock market saying you can't predict when the stock market's going to crash. The stock market's just going to continue up. There's no reason to think that it's going to have a crash. Well, he did reference the Great Depression. I'm not saying we're going to have a Great Depression, but I have news for Benjamin Cohen. You can predict the stock market crash. I've done it once. I'm going to do it again. So just letting him know, I'm gonna remember that video. But this was the video I put out. This was March 6, 2021, and I was saying that we were going to have another crash. But I gave two scenarios. I said, look, if they do not release a stimulus package, that we are going to come down and test this ring. Now, this isn't necessarily a crash or the Great Depression, but guys, part of swing trading is knowing when to short and when to long. If you don't sell at the top and buy at the bottom, you're not making any money. Yeah, if you're going to ride this out for the next 20 years, sure, buy in, stock market continues up, you do great. But I give you points too short and points too long. So, if I play this right here, and I had this right here, this line is March 11th. And right here, 2021 U.S. stock market correction, and I put this video out on March 6th. Right here was March 11th. Let me play a clip of this real quick. So this is the exact same chart. So that's what I'm saying. If we do not make it above, if we stay below this and we cross this fib channel line, I believe that what played out right here, rejected at the blue fib channel line, cross the yellow fib channel line, we're going to have a correction. And it seems like that is what's playing out. Now, I know the stimulus package, they're in talks about possibly passing this soon. That might cause a pump. If that does happen, well, if we push up and you get rejected at each blue ring, like right here, we pushed up, rejected, support, rejected, support, we blew past this blue ring. So, okay, if we don't get a correction here, well, if we do get a pump with the market, where's a potential point to get rejected? This next blue ring up. And keep in mind, we've got a fib channel up here too. Let me get my brush tool right here. So this is what I was saying was if the stimulus package passes, which they had to do something, I know from this chart that if nothing happened, the Dow was going to have a correction. This is the same chart I used to predict the last crash, and I was predicting another crash. I gave both scenarios. No stimulus package, we drop. Stimulus package, we pump. Where do we pump to? Guys, this is the same chart right here. I have these blue rings. I'll show you this chart in a little bit because this does tie into what's going to happen with this trap that's coming. But again, I gave you both scenarios, and guess what? March 11th was the day I said, look, this is the apex. If we stay underneath this blue ring, cross this fib channel line, we would come down to this first target here. If the stimulus package passes, we would push up. That was March 11th. Guess when the stimulus package passed? Right here. The House Representative passed the American Rescue Plan on Wednesday, opening the floodgates for $1.9 trillion to flow directly and indirectly to pockets of Americans. And what date was that? March 11th. Exactly the time I said if nothing happened, we were going to crash. They passed it, we pushed up. This is the top for the Dow. This is the point we are going to get rejected. I will cover this in a bit. So, this was another video that I did, and this was also tweets as well, but a chart I created also showing that Bitcoin was going to crash. Totally separate from the other one, but two different charts showed that Bitcoin was going to crash. And not only that, showing you exactly where the bottom was. Let me play a little clip of this for you, and then I'll show you the chart. Also finding resistance at this white ring. We hit it, resistance, this resistance, we're getting squeezed between them. So it made sense when we crossed this yellow ring, you know, on top of the Dow about to come down and, you know, Bitcoin about to come down, it seemed likely that both were about to crash. This is that chart. I had this on line drawing, that's why the candles are blue. But let me show you how this played out. Let me zoom in just a bit. You can see when I hit play, you know, so, and again, this video was after the fact. This is me going back and showing, you know, what happened. My channel had been taken down when I was predicting the Dow Jones would crash and Bitcoin would crash. For some reason, my channel was completely taken down. That's when I hopped on Twitter because I could not make any videos. This was after the fact, obviously. But this was a chart I was predicting the crash. This is the same published chart right here. You can see how it played out. Again, this was published on February 19, 2020, and this video was put out August 22nd, 2020. So this was another chart predicting that Bitcoin was going to crash. But if I keep going, also I predicted the bottom. And those tweets are no longer available, but in this video I did have these tweets. So let me play this real quick for you. As soon as this is the same chart. This is back here. We dropped from 6K to 3K. We crossed the yellow ring. You can see we cross here, we drop. We cross here, we drop. So again, that's why I was saying when we crossed this yellow ring, it seemed likely we would drop. This here. This is, now the great thing about some of these charts is I was actually able not only to call when the drop was going to happen, but also call the bottom. I made this post on March 12th. I said, Bitcoin bottom, nothing is ever certain, but I think I may have found our potential bottom. And I was pointing to this ring, it's the peak of the bull run chart. All of these videos that I'm referencing, I will put a link in the description if you want to check them out. But I was pointing to this ring as a potential point to catch a bottom, to you know, first start pushing back up. And this is the next tweet after this actually was the bottom. I think I was off by $50. I think the actual bottom was like $3,980 some dollars, maybe. So, and again, so what I'm showing you is I had charts that showed the Dow was going to crash, charts that showed Bitcoin was going to crash. They played out exactly. And then I had a chart showing exactly where the bottom was. Gave you that in advance. If you'd followed me back on Twitter back when this happened, obviously my channel was taken down, so I couldn't make any videos about this. The only way I could update people was on Twitter. So the people who followed me on Twitter knew exactly where the bottom was. Like I said, I was off like $20. This is the chart right here. Again, just to show you, this is published on November 23rd, 2019. This is my first peak of the bull run chart. And just so you can see, you know, that this chart did play out. Notice we wrote up this yellow ring, and we came down and found support on this ring. This is that red ring, and we came down. So if I hit play, you can see what happened. That was the exact bottom right there. You can see we bottomed right here at 3,900. This is where we all bought in and wrote it up. So again, chart showed we were going to have a crash, and the chart also nailed the bottom. So we knew exactly when to get out, and we knew exactly where to get in, almost to the dollar. Okay, so we're getting closer to current price action, but I need you to understand how these rings work, how they're able to predict tops and bottoms and these potential moves. So I want you to pay attention. So this chart right here, this is called the Bitstamp Daily Moving Averages, 300, 200, 100. That is this chart right here. I have it wound back before we hit this blue ring. You can see this matches right here. You can see this red ring came up as resistance, came back down, tested resistance, tested the 20-week, came up right here. This is the same chart right here. Came up as resistance, came up as resistance, tested the 20-week, coming up on this blue ring. So I'm going to play a clip of this. And this is also, guys, this blue ring right here is the same blue ring on this peak of the bull run chart, this blue ring here. I have it wound back also, just showing you when we make contact and kind of play it out and show you what I was predicting and how it played out. So let me play a little clip of this for you real quick, just so you know that this is the same chart. In this blue flip circle for quite a while. We are coming up on the top of this ring right now. I'm going to put a price label here. I would pay attention to this target. This is around 32,484. If we push straight up, we go sideways, potentially 32,000. I would watch this point to possibly get rejected. Again, we've been respecting this ring so well. When you hit a ring from the top inside, it can be resistance. I'm not saying we can't push above this. It's just a point to pay attention to. It's very possible this will act as resistance to push us down. So, and right here, and again, I'm giving you a guesstimate because I don't know when we'll make contact with this ring. If we go sideways, we will hit it later. If you push up, we hit it sooner. But this is the same ring right here. And again, I got this blue ring on this chart here from this peak of the bull run chart. So I'm going to hit play and just show you. So let's see where we make contact with it. I'm going to hit play. This should go by pretty quick. I had this on the 4 hour. I'm going to try to stop it as it goes through. So right here, I'll just play it out. So right here, this is that blue ring. I'll play it on this chart as well. So, and again, this is on the daily. But you can see we got rejected here, just showing you it's the same ring. But notice right here, and this is in the 4 hours, so you get a better idea. So I said, look, when we make contact with it, let's see what price we make contact with this ring. This was right here at 34,596. I had 32,576. Again, it's a ring. It depends on when you make contact what price is. But we hit it to the tick. And had you, again, I created an animation about this entire animation about this ring. So you knew way in advance to pay attention to this chart. We dropped a total of 20%. So you could have shorted this point. I said, guys, when you hit this point, watch it get rejected. If you put in a short here, you had an exact point to watch to short 20%. Not only that, if we go through, so this was a video I put out saying that we were topped out. And this goes along with this right here. This right here. This was a video I put out on January 8th. I'll play a clip of this for you. To this VIP channel line here. So it's very likely we could be topped out to come down. And you can see we are respecting this ring. So, and this tied into the peak of the bull run chart. This target up here matched the peak of the bull run chart. But you can see right here, 41,284. We topped out right here. A lot of people gave me a lot of flack because we did push higher than this. They said, we're not topped out. Bitcoin's still going up. That's correct. It's swing trading, guys. But look how much we dropped from this point. I said we were topped out at 41,282. Look how much we came down from this point. We came down a total of 31%. So you could have sold here and bought your Bitcoin 31% cheaper. Or, hey, stayed in and just bought back in when it dropped down to this point. Again, it's swing trading. These charts give you points to get in and to get out. Let me go through to the next one here. So this right here, and I'm going to cover this in a bit. You know, I was telling you pay attention to this ring. This was January 8th, 2021. I was already giving you a clue where the top was. Let me play a little clip of this. And this is this chart right here. Actually, in this chart here, so let me show you. Let me go through. So let me play this real quick. And I'll put this chart up so you can see it. Which is a pretty good drop, but we did push back above it. So again, for a macro target, guys, if this pushes up and goes ballistic, I would watch 59,500 to potentially. So 59,500. Keep in mind, you can see this ring right here, and I have curves here for a reason because there was so much on this chart. But this is the ring down here. You can see this is the red ring support. This is that orange ring. This is the next orange ring above. This is what this represents up here. So I was already telling you, if we pushed up, this is where you get topped out. Now obviously this is a ring that's curved up, so the longer it takes to hit, the higher price will be. So keep that in mind. This was on January 8th, 2021. I was giving you a point to watch, to short, to be the top before we come down. So keep that in mind. This right here, guys, and this goes back to this. This is the peak of the bull run chart. Let me go to this right here. So in this video, this is what I was talking about. So I said we were topped out, right? And that is right here. And you'll see what I'm talking about once we get above this ring. We were already above this ring here. That's why I said short to short at this ring came down 20%. So that video I had where I said we were topped out here matched exactly with this peak of the bull run chart. And I'll show you this target here when it gets to that point. But what I said was, you know, this is the pattern we're in. If we come down, I'm buying when we hit this blue ring. Let me play a little clip of this. Again, January 15, 2021. My next buy-in will be right here to potentially come back up to resistance, take my profit. So right here, you know, I said this was a pattern we were in way in advance before anybody else knew what pattern we were in. This told me we were topped out at 41,284, right? This is where we topped out here. I said if we come down, you buy at this blue ring. This is the peak of the bull run chart right here. So let me hit play and notice right here. Notice this line right here, right? This will be our top. So let me hit play. So you see what's happening there? That's the pattern we're in. That's this pattern right here. And I said, when we come down, your buy-in is this blue ring. Look what happens. And by the way, let's put that price target up here. And if I put it on the daily, Well, let me let this play out. I don't think I can on the daily, but if you'll notice, this was also the top. When you look at different time frames, the charts are different. But if you'll notice, on this one, I said the top was here at 41,284. This was right here, 41,000. It was right at there at that point. I'll show you that on the daily. But let me play this through, just so you can see what I'm talking about. So if I hit play, remember right here, I said your buy-in was at this blue ring. If I continue hitting play, look what happened. If you bought in right here, I said your buy-in, and they played out here too. Your buy-in, buy at the blue ring. You came up a total of 22%. You knew when to get out. Let me put this on the daily so it makes a little more sense here. You see on the daily it looks a little different. So that's what I was talking about. This was the pattern we were in. I said every time you come down, you touch the blue ring, you buy. So had you bought at the blue ring, you had 3 points of contact here, you had 2 points of contact here. So again, you buy at the blue ring, you ride it up. That was in 20% profit. You get to this resistance up here. Again, this was your resistance. This was your resistance, 38,713. You come down to right here, this blue ring, 29,450, and then you ride it up. So had you bought in here, like I said, that is exactly how it played out. Resistance, support, support, break it. Where do you buy? Right here, right at the blue ring. Ride it up. Look what happened. Came up, got rejected, came back to below this point. Hit play, let it keep going. And it went up ever since. So you had a perfect opportunity to short and a perfect opportunity to buy repeatedly. So I gave you a top point to sell. They came down a total of, again, from that top, that was a 30% drop. And you could have swing traded the hell out of this. From here to here was 27%. From here to here was 32%. And then you knew to buy right here, and you could ride it up as high as you wanted. Just up to this point right here was 18%. Had you stayed in, you knew exactly where to buy, and I gave you that way in advance. Just showing you these rings tell you exactly when to buy in and exactly when to get out. And again, so this is just showing you this chart did call the top. Yes, we did push up higher, we kept going. But this does bring us to this current, where we're at. And if you remember back here, I said, look, this is the next orange ring up. So if I play this out, and again, I had a video more recently giving you the exact number because we were closer to this point. But look where we topped out at. And then dropped. Right here, right at this ring that I told you. This is the ring below, right here. This orange ring, right here. It's the same one. I said this is the next orange ring up. This is where we get rejected. So if you look at it, right here it says 59,492. So if I put a price label here, that would be back here, because remember it's pushing up, right? So if we pushed up 59,492, so roughly if we pushed straight up, you would have got rejected right here. It took a long time before we kind of went sideways. But notice what happened. I said this is the point we would get rejected. This is where we made contact, and that was literally to the tick, guys. Right here, it hit it to the tick. We never came up and tested the top of this. Resistance, support, resistance. You would have come up and tested up here at 67,236. That's not what happened. We hit this orange ring, we came down. So again, back in January 28, 2021, I told you exactly what to pay attention to. So you got access to this chart. You knew when you hit this ring, this is the time to take your profit. And I'm telling you, this red ring is where we're headed. And this leads me to what I'm talking about, this trap. Okay, I just want to play one more clip. This was a live stream on April 7th. I just want to play this real quick, show you how it played out. Then I'm going to show you this last third trap that I think is playing out. And then I'm going to give you price targets for different Bitcoin charts, also price targets for Ethereum, Litecoin, BNB, and XRP. So I'm going to play a little clip of this real quick. 1,385. So if people expect this to come down and fill this gap, and a lot of people, what happens is once you fill the gap, price pushes back up. But the thing is, that is our support that needs to hold. So maybe that's what will happen. Maybe we'll come down, we'll fill this gap, 54,285, push back up. That would play right along with this pattern right here. We fill the gap, right? Confluence, guys, confluence. We come down, we fill this gap, and then we push back up. If you break above 59,078, then we can come up to 65,000. But if we fill that gap and we drop, and this is what I was telling you. We come down, You hit 54,389. This is where you hope it holds. You buy. This is where I bought. You ride it up. You ride it up to 65,000. This is where you take your profit and you get out. Just want to show you how this played out. This right here, this held. This is where you bought in, 55,400, and notice where we topped out. Remember I showed you earlier, this ring, back here it was around 59,000. When we made contact, it was to the tick. Right when you hit this orange ring, you knew way in advance. Months and months and months in advance. You knew when you hit this ring, this is the point you take profit and you get the hell out. You can see we dropped ever since. So just showing you that call played correctly. So let me go ahead and show you what this trap is that I think is coming up right now. So the first trap, we already know what happened. Everybody was expecting, so this is the 20-week moving average right here. Some used the 21-week moving average. But basically everyone was shorting. They expected us to come down and test this 20-week. Everybody would buy and it would go up. So people were shorting to this point. That's not what happened. It pushed up to liquidate shorts. They even brought it down lower to trigger shorts. So now that all these shorts are liquidated, now they're pushing the price up. And what's going to happen is this going to start coming back down. So all these longs are going to get liquidated. People are getting bullish, think it's going to go higher. It's going to start coming down, which I think that's already begun. And I showed you that with this chart here. If we get above 56,151, hey, maybe we should start getting bullish. This is also tied in with the 21 daily exponential moving average. But again, I think we'll stay underneath this point. I just want to show you what I think is going to play out. So again, first trap, drop. Second trap, short squeeze, pushing up. So I think the third and final trap that's going to wreck the bulls is right here. I think this is the neckline right here. Notice that this channel pretty much matches the top. Let me make this white so you can see it. So this is basically our resistance above. You can see right here. And I think this is our left shoulder right here. This is our head. And now we're forming our right shoulder right now. And our neckline is going to be potentially down here around 48,000 right here. So I think how this is going to play out, obviously this price is going to come down. People are going to start shorting. And they're going to expect what's going to happen. Now if you take, first of all, when this breaks, people are going to expect that what's going to happen is when we come down, everybody's going to buy at the 20-week moving average. Most people would buy there. If you're in a healthy bull run, you test the 20-week, we continue up. I think what's going to happen is just like this first drop, dropping it, short squeeze pushing up. I think this is the final trap to wreck the bulls because it's going to drop down to this point. People are going to expect it to go up. People will be buying. I think it's going to blow through this. It's going to drop past the 20-week. And I believe this head and shoulders is going to play out. So if you go from the top and you go to the neckline and you bring this down, this brings us right down to this red ring. So I believe that is where we're headed. Again, if this does hold and it pushes up, we're in a bull run. And it's still possible. This has happened in the past. If you go back and look, we have broken below the 20-week moving average. You can see right here, we broke below it. We broke below it and we came back above it and held support. So it is very possible we could break below the 20-week moving average and then push back up above it. So what I'm getting at here is I think what's going to happen is we're going to break below this. Now the question is, I do believe we're going to come down and test this red ring. This is where I'm going in 100%. But the question is, does it come back up and do we hold support? If we push back up and we hold support on the 20-week, then we're still in a bull run. We're bullish. But if we come down and we test this, again, this is why we're buying on this red ring. If we push up and this becomes resistance, we are now in a bear market for lower targets. Now, if you have access to these charts, I will have all the price labels on this chart. Again, I'm going in 100% on this red ring. I know for a fact this is going to be support. I've shown this in plenty of charts, months and months in advance. If you've been following me and you pay attention, I give you these targets, I give you these hints, these clues way in advance. You know this is support. This has been support, resistance, resistance, support, support, broke it, came down. And remember, this was the point I called the bottom right here, right on this blue ring. This red ring, you pushed up, it was resistance, 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 resistance. Push back up, resistance, 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 came down, test the 20-week. We pushed back up. Look what happened to this red ring again. Resistance, support, support, and bought it. Each time we hit this red ring, I bought. So that's what I'm saying. I think that's how it's going to play out. I think we're going to break the 20-week moving average, and this is where we're going to get our bounce. Wherever we make contact with this red ring, that is the point I'm going in 100% to ride this up. I do think this 20-week is a trap. Everybody is going to be buying at that point. Everybody expects it to push up from there. That is when the whales and the exchanges are going to wreck the bulls, expecting it to push back up. Again, I believe that's the third trap. The setup is coming. You do what you want, but the most important thing is, however this plays out, if we do push up above and hold support on the 20-week, that's bullish, further upside. If it becomes resistance, guys, we just entered a bear market. So again, the Dow Jones, this plays into it as well. Again, this is the same chart I used to predict the last crash, back over here. And I just want to show you the accuracy of these. The reason I showed you all these charts way back is I want to show you how accurate they are. You can clearly see this orange ring, we got rejected. We came down as support. We pushed up, got rejected. All the same fib circle. All these orange rings are the same fib circle. Came down as support, resistance, support. This is the point right here where I said if they did not pass the stimulus package, that we would potentially, right here, we were here for like 3 weeks, maybe longer. I said if they did not pass the stimulus package on March 11th, we were coming down to test this target. They passed it. And now we are right here. And I'm telling you, this is the top. This is where I'm going to be shorting the Dow. This plays into why I'm expecting Bitcoin to potentially come down a lot more, because I do believe the Dow is topped out. Now remember, when the Dow crashed last time, all the markets came down. So if the Dow starts coming down thousands of points, expect the NASDAQ, S&P, all the markets will come down together. And remember, last time the markets crashed, the Dow specifically came down 30 points, or it dropped 30%. Bitcoin dropped 60%. Bitcoin is going to get hit the hardest if the market's correct. So again, that's what I want to show you. Let me give you some price targets for Bitcoin. Again, watch 56,151. This plays right into the 21 daily exponential moving average. We're below that, bearish. Above that, get bullish. Bitcoin dominance, guys. Bitcoin dominance has been dropping like a rock. I mean, you can see this ring right here. I've talked about this chart before. We topped out right at this ring. This was actually a peak we had at Bitcoin. This helped us find a top to short. But you can see from this point, dominance has already dropped 32%. And keep this in mind also. The last time we had a bear market, when we hit 20,000 and we started coming down, remember that was alt season. All the alts started pumping while Bitcoin was coming down. Well, now alts are pumping while Bitcoin dominance is coming down. Bitcoin price is coming down. So this is playing out almost identical to 2017. So this is another clue to me that we might be entering another bear market. So pretty soon, alts and Bitcoin are going to start dropping together. So guys, before I give you price targets for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Binance Coin, and XRP, again, if you want to access these charts, the website's opticalcrypto.com. I'll have a link pinned to the first comment in the description. $39 a month, you get access to Bitcoins, altcoins, precious metals. You get access to our Discord, and you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is private. I do have stocks available that are separate, tutorials are separate as well. If you do want to get lifetime, you get full access to everything. Contact me through the contact page if you want access to that. So guys, I'm going to give you some price targets on these charts. This is the A1 chart. The ones I have labeled are the ones I'm trading. So look, I'm not going to give you all these targets, but I will give you the closest support and resistance levels. So look, if we push up on the A1 chart, your next resistance to watch, 56,772. If we drop, your closest support, 51,447. Write these down. They will be respected. Remember, if I give you targets that are closer, write those down and pay attention to that first. If you get above it, your next point would be this one here. So your next resistance, 56,772. It will be respected. Your next support level, 51,447. This is the B1 chart. So again, your next major supports below is right here. Your next resistance above is up here, but currently your current support and resistance to watch. So your resistance above right now is 55,631, and your support right now is 54,386. This is the C1 chart. You can see your current support is right here. This line has been respected. This has been a lot of support and resistance. And this is the right here, this blue moving average. This is the 21 exponential daily. As long as we're below this, this is bearish. If we get above it, that would be bullish. But I think we are going to stay below and continue down. If we do push up, your next resistance on this chart to watch, 58,172. If we drop below the support of 54,000, your next support level to watch is around 52,300. This chart here, I'm going to give you this price target. So look, currently you can see, right here, we kept testing this. When we're testing this 200 exponential moving average. We pushed up, notice we kept finding support, support. We would wick down to this point. Support, broke it. Look where it came down for support, right here. And then pushed up as resistance. That's how accurate these charts are for support and resistance. So let me give you support resistance levels on this chart. Your current resistance to watch is right here at 55,180. And your current support right here is 53,919. I will give you this one, guys. This has been a lot of support. So if we come down, watch to potentially catch a bounce at 50,423. Remember, it's at an angle. You have access to the charts. You know what price it is when you make contact. But right here is around 50,490. If you push up, your next resistance to watch is right here at 58,896. So this was April 26th. This is the last video I did. I was covering altcoins. So Ethereum, I'm not going to play this. I'm just going to show you. So I said your upside target for Ethereum right here was, and I did have some other ones, but 2,556. So your support was 2,433, and you had very strong support down here at 2,194. So this is Ethereum chart. I'm going to give you some price targets. So notice right here, this blue line, 2,556, we pushed up. Notice I said this was your resistance. Remember, resistance will flip as support. So 2,556, let's put a price label here. So right here, 2,556, we pushed up as resistance, and then it flipped as support. You can clearly see that. We pushed up, resistance, became support, and now we're pushing up. So let me give you some price targets to pay attention to for Ethereum. If we push up, your next resistance just above it's right here. This will be resistance. Every single one of these fib channel lines will be respected. This is your next resistance to watch, potentially short. Your support right now is around, let's say 2,604. Your next support level below that is right here at 2,481. If you get above 2,785, your next resistance to watch is 2,963. This is Litecoin. I was telling you, look, your support right here is 200. I didn't give the support for this one. This support right here was 256. I'm just obviously give you support levels to pay attention to. Let's see how this played out. This right here, notice this this is actually a line right here. I didn't put a line on it. This is a fib channel line. Notice it was resistance. So if you pushed up, this was also a target. We did push above 256 a bit. But right here, you can see, this is what I was talking about right here. Let me get the right price label here. So right here, notice, and again, all of these fib channel lines, all of your price targets are already mapped out for all the altcoins and for Bitcoin. Resistance, support, resistance, pushed above its support, came down to support, resistance, support, dropped down to this one to support, resistance, support, to the tick, perfect point too short, came all the way down here, support, resistance, support, resistance. So guys, you see the pattern here. You know exactly where your price targets are. And look right here. Even this line is being respected right now. This is your current resistance. So let me give you support resistance for Litecoin. So your current resistance right now, if you can't get above 258, your next support level to watch is right here at 244. If you break below that, your next support right here is 227. If you get above that, we know this has already been tested, this line right here. So look, if you get above 258, your resistance to watch, potentially get out, is 263. You get above that, your next resistance right here is 275. And then your major resistance above is going to be right here. This is Binance coin. Right above I had 575. Our resistance was 537, and I said our support was 490 at 469. Let's see how this played out. So again, let's see. Right here, 579. And notice this, I talked about this before. Pivot rings. This ring we pushed up. So I said, pay attention to this ring. We hit this ring, we pushed up. But notice right up here, your target to the upside, $579. Look where we hit. $579 to the tick, and look where we dropped. I said your support right here, 537. Here's your support, 539. I was off by like $2. So again, showing you the power of these charts. You already have your support and resistance levels mapped out. So look, your current resistance right now, if we push up to watch, $557 potentially short. Your current support right here, $540. If you drop below that, your next strongest support is right here. You know that for a fact. We've been respecting this. You can see this right here was a lot of support. Resistance, support, and resistance. So right here is your next support level. Plus you have this support right by it. So if you're looking for a great point to long Binance or BNB, $492. So again, this is how you trade these charts. XRP, this chart was dead on. I didn't cover this in the last one, but you can see when we pushed up, and again, this chart was created on 5920. It's still this accurate. We pushed up, got topped out at 191. Look where we came down to support, right down here, perfectly. And we know, look, this was resistance. So you know this is support. You just go back and look left, see how it's respecting the lines. And look how much these moves were. From this point to this point was 74%. So if you had access to this chart, you knew potentially to take your profit here. And you're short, you could have shorted a total of 50%. And currently, we are up 45% from support. So let me give you support resistance levels to pay attention to. Notice we are respecting these fib channel lines as well. Again, this is XRP. So look at your major resistance, just like right here, just like we got rejected right here. So if you push up, you might want to take your profit at around $1.66. Your current resistance we need to get above. If you can't get above $1.37, your support below is right here at $1.24. Your next major support is going to be right here. It's already been tested. Resistance, support. So you know your strongest support is around 92 cents. And if you drop below that, again, all your support levels are below and your next resistance is above. And again, this is the XRP chart. But guys, that's it. Again, if you want to access these charts, the website is opticalcrypto.com. The link will be pinned in the first comment in the description. $39 a month, get access to Bitcoins, altcoins, precious metals, access to our Discord. You can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is private. If you want to access stocks and tutorials, that is separate. Again, the link will be pinned in the first comment in the description. Guys, that's it. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.